Yes, we got a TV show. Hey, welcome to Not Vox Machina. I am Sam Riegel, one of your esteemed hosts for the evening. Joining me on this couch is Travis Willingham and Liam O'Brien for the moment.
Could we refer to this as the green couch, please?
The green couch?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah, this is the olive drab couch.
Yes, until mere moments ago, I was also wearing a green shirt, but...
This green shirt.
That's right.
But y'all switch
Remedied.
clothes
We did.
all the time.
We are here tonight to have a little chat with the audience about all kinds of fun stuff related to the animated series, Critical Role, Legend of Vox Machina.
Man.
If you have no idea what we are talking about, we should tell you that several months ago we launched a Kickstarter to fund a one episode special of animated special, and you guys rose to the occasion, went above and beyond, and raised a lot of money, so much money that we are going to get to make a whole season of episodes based on the Legend of Vox Machina.
That's right.
And we're partnering with a great animation studio called Titmouse. A little later, we're going to welcome some of the folks from Titmouse out here on the big green couch and talk about like how we make a cartoon, which we are currently doing. But first, we wanted to get to the results of this Tavern Keeper build. Travis, what's that all about?
Man, can we just compliment Sam on his hosting?
Smooth.
Yeah, I know, like a smooth operator.
I'm petrified.
No,
right
you're
now.
doing great.
I'm not doing. I don't know how Brian does this every Tuesday night.
It's a big chair to fill, right?
It
like
is.
It's kind of roomy.
I know why
There's
he drinks a lot.
You got all the information out. So far, you haven't said things you're not supposed to.
Don't even say that. You've just jinxed the whole show now.
Oh man. Okay, so we had this Tavern Keeper build, and we ended the survey poll. What was the final number?
Do we say the number?
Yeah.
Do we say? I don't think we say the number.
We don't say the number. There were a
lot of people voted.
Yeah,
tons
so
of people
many.
voted, and we appreciate your passion and enthusiasm. You guys voted. If you're just tuning in and you don't know what the hell we're talking about, you guys voted to help design a character that is going to appear in our cartoon series, probably in one of the first couple episodes. It is a tavern keeper who our heroes may or may not meet. You don't know, but you guys have picked race, class, gender, age, alignment, and we have the results that we should just get to, right?
I mean,
I
guess. Don't we want to lord this power over them, though?
Yeah, we
like
should.
just establish like some sort of
Draw it out.
I don't know.
Yeah,
What
Liam,
should we do?
Liam, how are your thoughts about this poll right now?
Well, I mean, before we get to that, I think that we can finally admit that we're going to recreate the magic of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Okay.
And have Matt Mercer actually be in the cartoon, live action with Vox Machina.
Wait a second.
You heard it here first.
But the reverse.
Yeah, reverse
The
Roger Rabbit.
inverse of Roger Rabbit.
Yes.
So everything's animated.
Except Matt.
But fucking live action Mercer just wandering around.
Yes.
And then fantasy shit happens to him.
I
Probably
would
violent.
kill to watch that.
It's just Matt in a t-shirt changing voices for each of his villains and NPCs, but it's just Matt in a black t-shirt the whole time.
Matt in a Roger Rabbit t-shirt.
Matt in a Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
Mouse, can we make it happen?
It shall be so.
Yes. Everything is at our fingertips.
This is gonna be great.
So
Okay.
we have these 5 categories.
You guys voted for lots and lots of votes, and we'll tell you the percentage of
That's correct.
everything. All right, go.
So the first category is alignment. And 32% of you voted for chaotic good.
Ooh,
Best alignment.
the best kind of good.
So a good person, but kind of all over the place, can operate on a whim.
I feel like we know that alignment pretty well based on our
so.
characters, right? Like they're a little unpredictable.
I think we usually make like chaotic neutral characters, but let's be honest, they're pretty fucking chaotic good.
Yeah, eventually.
Eventually.
They just
Yeah,
have to
they'll
be.
come around.
I don't want to answer
Just
for
take
you.
60 to 70 episodes.
But so a chaotic good tavern keeper would be someone who doesn't skimp on the alcohol, right? Because they're good. They do a full pour.
Yeah, healthy pour.
But they roll it down, like they slide it down the bar. That's the
Sloshing
chaotic.
it everywhere.
That's the chaotic
Yep,
part, right?
yep. Probably don't clean up. It's real sticky when you put your hand down.
Wouldn't be opposed to slipping a Mickey to a villain for the cause of good.
That's right.
Chaotic.
Yeah, I like it.
Probably true.
Okay. What else we got?
Second category, age.
Oh, here we go. 22.
I hope they're 21 because they
Young
got to
tween.
run in a bar.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, boy, man, that would be embarrassing if we let that loophole. Whoa, shit. 9 years old. In a fantasy world. Fuck!
Why not?
Hey, I'm a goblin. That means I'm middle-aged.
That's right. 50% of you.
50.
50. A whopping 50%.
Can't agree on anything in this world.
Voted for the age to be middle-aged.
Ooh.
Seen a little bit of the world already.
Sure. What
had
is
some experience.
What does that mean? What is
50%.
What is
voted for
middle-aged?
Are you
50
about
years
to ask
old.
what middle-aged
Well,
is?
I know it's older than me.
Well, it depends on the race as well.
Yeah, but so what are we
Right.
talking? 30 to 50, 40 to 60,
If it's an
50
elf,
to
it
70?
means 400. If it's a human, it means 43.
To 60, 40 to... What is middle-aged?
How old am I?
What are you, like 42?
3.
3.
That's middle-aged.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Welcome to middle age.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little group, maybe some signs, maybe some. I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
We'll
Salt
see.
and pepper?
Yeah. Man, the options are endless. Okay. Category number 3: gender identity. Again, a very large percentage, 42%.
Wow.
Amazing.
Voted for non-binary, gender non-conforming.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
I will say it. I don't think that there's ever been a non-binary bartender on any animated series in history. I'm gonna guess that that's true.
I don't know. I can't think of any that springs to mind.
First of all, I can't really think of any bartenders in many animated series to begin with.
Oh, animated bartender.
There. Mo.
There's Mo.
Mo. Titmouse. Thank
I
you.
think Mo was not. I think Mo identified as a male.
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
I haven't watched every episode, but ours
speak
is
for
going to
Mo.
be non-binary.
That's right.
They them.
Yes, they will.
That is
Okay.
correct.
That's great.
The 4th category: race.
Says Matt Mercer.
Holy shit! Before he hops in an animated carriage and rides off a cliff. 31% of you voted for this tavern keeper to be a changeling.
Ooh, fuck you, audience. Oh, no, fuck yourself.
Fuck you guys. I know. You know, they're thinking like, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need? Just moving through all of the races.
What is the age range of a changeling?
I don't know. Well, so
Oh, shit.
I don't really know how to play these RPG type games. So
Yeah, don't you have Liam normally?
yeah,
choose
but
it for
like,
you?
what do changelings change into? Is there a set thing, or can they change into an animal, or what?
Anything, I think.
I've never played that character, and I've never encountered one in my game.
Yeah,
I think they're like a shifter, right?
Yeah, I think they're sort of like not a doppelganger, but like they have the ability to change into beast or creatures.
But into
or,
one thing, like do they just go werewolf and back, or do they?
We're gonna learn it right now.
they-
No, I'm gonna speak, and it's gonna be canon right now. They can only change into. No, that's not.
Oh wait, we do have a chat room. I guess we could. They could.
Oh,
tell
that's
us.
right. Yeah. Other humanoids only.
only
One
humanoid.
person says, "Hopeful ninja." What's up?
Okay.
Changelings live about as long as humans. Oh my god, it moves so fast.
Okay.
Woo. They're basically doppelgangers.
Humanoids.
Any medium humanoid, just humanoids. No, it's a doppelganger. Why in all caps, bro? Why? Yeah. So
Well, we'll have to do some research about what.
That makes sense. That so it's not some like huge creature, same size, medium. Okay.
Okay, cool. That'll be interesting for the animators to design.
That's right. And the last and 5th category, class.
Cool.
Only 25%.
Oh, contentious.
Yes, there was. I mean, there were lots of choices,
Sure.
but 25% was the largest vote for the class of
Wow,
That is the
a
bard
bard,
voice,
a tavern keeper,
could be
Well-
a musician, could be an orator, could be
poet.
a poet.
I mean,
Beat poet?
It sounds like you just described David Bowie.
Sure, sure, a little bit. David Bowie
Changeling.
behind the bar would not be
Non-binary.
Can we
Middle-aged,
do David?
bard.
Can we do David Bowie from Labyrinth and get that awesome like crotch region that was so present in the spandex lycra?
All the fluff on top, but tight down below.
And slightly uncomfortable, being that all the puppets were sort of at that level.
Him or us?
Well,
I would go to this bar. I will tell you that. Like, I want in. I will go there and be a regular. And so will our characters on the Legend of Vox Machina.
that's right.
I can't wait to meet them.
We can say that this Tavern Keeper is going to be incorporated into the story. There's no locked place for them yet. And obviously we'll be able to toss out different ideas, different scenarios.
With the writers and with the animators.
So this will touch all sorts of different talented folks.
But we're not quite done yet with this Tavern Keeper. I wonder, so we wanted to maybe go to the chat and see if like you guys had any ideas for other distinguishing characteristics or traits of.
Yeah, now that they know that much.
Yeah. Like what else? Like, so there's distinguishing features like scars or hats or one hand, one ear. I don't know, like
armor.
Spitball it. We're in the writers. This is the writers' room now.
Yeah. So go ahead and toss them out on chat.
Wow, it is moving so
Eyeball.
fast. I saw button nose.
I'm seeing David Bowie a lot. Wooden eye.
Wooden eye. Interesting.
Yep, I saw a hook hand.
Afraid of bread.
Doesn't all have to be pirates. Fucking hates birds. I kind of like that. Like you see some pigeon land on the windowsill and they're like, no!
Seems like it might interrupt a scene.
Collects weird puppets.
I either saw PTSD or LSD. Either one, very interesting. Always carrying a snake. Third nipple.
Third nipple. I don't know how that's going to get used in a scene.
God, there's a lot of call for eye patch.
I'm seeing a lot of accent stuff. I think we're going to stay away from accent stuff because we don't know. We just found out what this character is. We have to cast this person. We don't know who's going to play this person, and we wouldn't want to pigeonhole them. Like Matt Mercer is amazing at accents, can do anything, but we don't know who we're going to cast to play this this person. So maybe we shouldn't do an accent, right?
Yeah, could be Matt Mercer. Might be somebody else. Might find somebody amazing to play this part.
Yeah.
Chicken dick?
Is that a suggestion or is that a hand?
I thought it was chicken pox when I looked at it, but then I had to be honest about what was in the chat.
Massive bush of nose hair. I mean,
endless dad jokes.
How do we pick?
Yeah, I don't know. I am liking Afraid of Birds. I don't know how essential it is.
But remember, we have animators here tonight.
Yeah.
We need to give them something to animate.
Yeah, look, sometimes we build from the inside out, okay? Don't grab the process.
I want to see this tonight. I want to see a character with a chicken dick, a wooden eye,
I saw
an
a
eye
nose
patch.
ring. How do we feel about a nose ring?
Nose ring would be pretty David Bowie-esque.
Yeah, could be a stud, could be a loop.
I like nose ring. Do you want to soft commit to nose ring?
I think I'm okay to soft commit. Liam, do we have a tribunal?
Hard commit.
All right.
Okay,
We're
nose ring.
making progress, you guys.
Okay.
We'll be out of here by 9 p.m. Fuck me.
Hates alcohol? All right, guys.
Ronald Reagan? No. What? This is the best.
It's going so fast.
Yep. Tattoo sleeve. How do we feel about tattoos on our Tavern Keeper?
I feel like that tracks. They're a tavern keeper. They're around. Low lifes at the bar, I assume. Maybe some.
I saw
some
Brian Foster hair.
Brian Foster hair.
Ooh, some beautiful wavy Foster
Just
hair.
the top, just the pompadour.
I think I could get down with some awesome top wavy hair.
Brian Foster hair, not unlike David Bowie hair. I'm just going to say that.
Well,
Not unlike.
Yeah, I'm
David-
still stuck in labyrinth land.
David had 20 hairstyles, so.
Yeah, he put his finger in the electric socket.
Has a mullet. I'm okay with mullet. I'm okay.
So
okay
Foster hair with a mullet?
We got nose ring. We got tattoo. We got some bouffant going on.
Obsessed with craft beers.
He's from. Or
It's
they're
only
from Portland.
IPAs.
They're from Portland.
Unicorn horn. No, I don't think so. Although it's cool.
Clown feet.
Cotton candy like hair. Interesting.
God bless our mods, by the way. I don't know how they do this. This is.
I saw someone say changes tattoos with the changing of their mood, which could work for a changeling,
Sorry,
right?
guys. The animators are
Literally committing seppuku off stage. I'm like, awesome.
Design it all.
Yeah. Okay. I like that too. Let's see.
Wow, this is a lot of great stuff. Wait, is there anything
Plays
else?
a harmonica.
Okay, well, if they're a bard, sure. Harmonica, we could have one in the background or something.
Sure.
Are there? So wait, other than just like facial characteristics or whatever. What about height? Tall? Small?
Tall, short,
Small,
average.
Let's
medium, tall, large.
take it to the
lithe.
Let's take it to the chat.
Multiple nipples.
Lots of suggestions.
Open-toed shoes. Not bad.
Kilt. I saw.
I see lots of small shorts, stockies.
Okay.
Small AF.
People seem to like the small and the short.
Yeah. Oh no! Now it's correcting. It's skewing back towards tall boy.
MC calls for thick.
Thick and small?
Sure.
Oh my God!
Juicy
I mean, this
spread.
is ridiculous. We could do this forever.
So I'm seeing tall and lanky and short and stocky. So maybe we'll take both of those and we'll pick between.
Okay, it's either going to be super lanky and like
Ichabod
6'7",
Craney,
yeah,
right?
or
Like
4'6".
gymnast,
350.
Romanian gymnast, right? Yeah, 350.
This character
dwarf.
is a changeling, so I'm sure Titmouse will love if the character just changed every 10 seconds. Yeah, depending on who they're talking
Just
to.
Travis in a wig.
That's easy.
Oh, Doug Jones, not bad, not a bad pull.
Danny DeVito. Yeah, that's also good.
Doug Jones and Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito when they're
Right. When they're calm.
We lost another one. Okay, what about clothes? Should there be
Any
light
color?
armor, medium armor, full plate armor?
Or I mean, they're a
Well,
tavern
bard,
keeper, so
you can
maybe
go
not
anywhere.
any
Yeah,
armor. It could
could be
just be a cloak or a color scheme or a color palette, or some sort of a hood.
Unnaturally colored hair, I like that. I think we're gonna do a little of that action. A monocle, green jerkin is the first one I saw.
I saw a kimono.
The kimono, okay.
Sure.
Platform heels.
Pastels.
A kick-ass waistcoat.
I've never seen a kick-ass waist.
Toga. Hippie sundress. Guys.
I think all great decisions have really been made with a rapidly moving Twitch chat.
Yep. We may have overestimated our ability to to harvest ideas from this.
I got a Hawaiian kimono duster jacket. That's what I saw.
I don't know if we need to fight it. Maybe rip the sleeves off and we're there for the tattoo. A Hawaiian kimono duster jacket's
That's
pretty
it.
great. It's layered.
That's it.
I mean,
That is it.
Okay.
All right.
I think we built our character.
and
everyone.
also, we should say that while the chat is going, we will be able to reference and layer and see if we missed anything, but that's impossible given how much is happening.
But these are great. This is all great, guys,
Yes.
and
Sure.
we love the input. But I think we should. Do you think it's time to maybe bring out the other folks and they can comment on this stuff, or do you think there's some more stuff to do with the chat?
What about should we do not that they play an instrument, but should we decide on maybe an instrument that
That could be featured
Yeah.
somehow. Okay, let's go to the chat.
Let's name some bard instruments. What do we got?
I mean, us here on this.
Yeah, like throw them out there.
Lyre,
Shamisen.
shawm,
Violin.
Tin whistle. The spoons.
that thing. Oh, that's the mouth harp.
A finger.
I see metallic harp. I see bagpipes. I see spoons. I
Kazoo.
see
Taiko drum.
kazoo's kind of.
Ideally, something that could be featured, like hanging on the bar behind them.
Oh yeah, like above the tap. Like
Yeah, I don't know if
up there.
I don't know if a kazoo on like a big plaque, although that's pretty funny.
Pretty fucking great.
Right,
I don't know harmonica.
right underneath a bass.
Yeah.
Kenny G sax. Okay, contraband flute. What is that?
I don't know.
Cowbell.
Crystal goblets.
Needs more cowbell.
Interesting.
Crystal what?
You know, crystal goblets like.
No. Like sound bath.
Right,
Yeah.
you piss them off. They play the really high note when somebody's head explodes.
Yeah.
I like it.
Jug band?
Cymbals.
Jug band's not bad. Pan flute. Ooh,
that's
that
good.
kind of goes with the Bowie of it all.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the small ones above the bar is kind of amazing.
Yeah,
There's some good comedy there.
there is.
Are you a musician? Yeah, I play that. A kazoo? Yeah, what about it?
That's pretty good. Beatbox? Sure.
Banjo, can't ignore a banjo. Okay,
nerdy.
this is all great.
Okay, we got some good ones.
Yes.
We'll stick a pin in that.
Yep.
To be determined. Maybe we should welcome out our friends.
Yes, most definitely. So please help us welcome out from Titmouse Animation. First, we have Chris Prynoski, owner and creator of Titmouse. Made everything so amazing. Chris.
Hey. I wish we had a studio audience to applaud.
Now, Chris, you are wearing your signature Titmouse hat, which everyone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everyone knows you
my
buy.
work hat.
But you are carrying a far more powerful magic relic. Can you tell us what that is?
This is the Sandal of Gygax. And the legend goes that Gary Gygax, creator of Dungeons and Dragons, when he quit his job as an insurance adjuster to basically create Dungeons and Dragons, he realized you can't feed your family on Dungeons and Dragons yet. So he became a cobbler. And he made sandals such as this one. Okay. And then the day that he realized, now I could finally make enough money with Dungeons and Dragons that I don't have to be a cobbler anymore, he stopped halfway through making this pair of sandals. And there is only one, the last one, the Sandal of Gygax, which I acquired at GaryCon. And kind of like the Stanley Cup, I will bring it back. I'm the steward for 1 year.
Wow.
And I will bring it back next year to GaryCon.
Can we touch
You can touch
the
it.
Sandal of Gygax?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, man.
It's good luck
Absorb
every
its
time.
magic.
This is what Vax's Boots of Haste looked like, by the way.
It's the sandal. Just one sandal.
Yeah.
It's a well-made shoe.
How did you? Was this one in like an illicit gambling den at GaryCon, or
It was. I wish it was that. It was actually in a charity auction held by Luke Gygax to benefit the Wounded Warrior Project.
Even
So
better.
it's a good.
charity.
It's for a good. And you know what? I got this while at GaryCon last year was the week that we launched the campain for the Legend of
Wow,
Vox
so this
Machina.
is good. This is
It's
a good
very
luck.
good luck.
Wow.
Look at that luck. I didn't
you-
even put that together until now.
have you tried this on and did it fit like Cinderella?
Ashamed to say that I have not.
Oh my God!
Well,
You
Chris,
should probably put that on before the year
that's
is out.
gonna
Yeah.
happen.
I'm gonna have to do
Chris is one of our fantastic executive producers on the show.
Yes.
We also have with us Jin Ahn, who is our supervising director. from
Give that
Titmouse.
man a round of applause.
Welcome, Jin. Yes. Jin is an incredibly talented animator, producer, director. Jin,
Emmy nominee.
Oh,
can I
thank
say
you.
that? Is that true? Yes. Okay. Good.
oh yeah, I mean you gotta give him a little bit more.
And Sunjin is our supervising director. What is that? What does that mean? Like for me, I don't know what your
Right.
job is yet. So
Supervising director, I guess I get to hang out with you guys more, because you guys are the creators and know these characters and stories and know where you want to take the show. So, I get to talk with you more and then help guide the rest of the team, all the artists and animators that will be, hand drawing all this wonderful stuff. And I'm like a communicative bridge. I will.
nice. And you look at every frame or every shot and make sure that it's perfect.
Yeah, I get to have my hand dipped in every process, but just more in a guiding manner and make sure everyone's happy and make sure it's still honing in the vision, the look that everybody who backed the campaign was hoping for.
That's awesome.
Excellent.
And how did you find this guy?
Oh yeah, he's got a good origin story.
Okay.
You
I
ready
have
for
an
this one?
origin story.
You ready for this one? So when Sungjin was a wee lad, he was a teenager, and he was taking a class from Juno, who's one of our partners and one of our longtime directors at Titmouse. At the time, we were working on animating the opening to the first season of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, snap.
And that's what we animated that on pieces of paper.
Big fan.
That's how long ago it was. We painted the backgrounds with real paint before we used computers for that stuff. And Sungjin actually scanned all of those drawings as an intern.
I was the intern.
Way back when. Way back
About like
then.
10 years ago, I believe now.
Man, that's more than 10 years
More than
ago.
10
That's
years ago,
15
Yeah,
years
it's a
ago,
while.
man.
It's a while. We don't like to admit it, but it's a while.
Yeah, that's true.
That is incredible. Our third Titmouse guest is Arthur Loftis, our art director on the show. Come on in, Arthur.
Loftis.
Arthur is not only, once again, an amazing animator and talented artist, Arthur is actually a critter of the highest variety and has watched all of Campaign 1. You know the Vox Machina storyline.
Yeah,
right?
I'm actually finally caught up with Campaign 2, too.
Oh, shit! Oh, God, okay, he's there.
I've been watching it with my girlfriend. We're both huge fans.
Wow.
Yeah.
Legit.
Yep.
So we first came across Arthur when we were in the middle of the Kickstarter, and we were wanting to talk to some people at Titmouse that had watched Critical Role. There were some fans over there, and Arthur actually participated in some of our behind-the-scenes shoots. And I mean, he knew his shit. It was great.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing watching Arthur create some of these concept drawings and some art pieces that are just already blowing us away. What would you say, you out of the whole Vox Machina storyline, like what is something that you would really like to see animated?
Oh, man. I wondered what I said in my interview.
Double up on it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Chroma Conclave stuff is pretty epic. I mean, if someone let us crack at that, I am sure we would knock it out of the park.
Oh, man, that was...
Dragons flying around, blowing everything up, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, for sure. And an art director, what do you do on the show?
So while Sunjin's sort of the story guy, I'm sort of his design counterpart. So I'm kind of working with our designers and our painters, character designers, prop people, and trying to establish the look of the show. And then once we roll into full production, I'll be managing them as we make the actual assets, the actual backgrounds for the show, real paintings, done digitally.
The next time, if we ever have a show like this, we will just be one person.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
You'll be a two-headed beast.
We'll just slowly fuse into just one entity. Yes.
Amazing.
Now, you guys you guys used to actually be roommates, right? Back in the day?
Yeah.
How many? It was like 6 years.
Yeah. At least 5-6 years.
Yeah, I mean.
In college or just when you were just starting out?
Kind of recently, yeah.
Was it like a typical like bachelor pad, really gross, or was it? Did you keep it clean?
We had districts.
Districts?
Yeah.
Yes.
I hear there was a lot of minis getting painted.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was the nerd house. I mean, we had minis everywhere. My another one of our roommates in the bachelor mansion or whatever also was into minis, so we played a lot of Warhammer, and there was just shit everywhere. I mean, we were not really putting stuff away as much as we should have been.
So it is Arthur and Sunjin's first time up here at the CR Studios, and we showed them sort of Matt's mini and creation room. It's held behind, what is it, 4 or 5 locked doors, and there's a biometric.
Several glyphs, yeah.
Yep. Not many have tried to enter and survived, so we were glad that you did, because that would have been fucking awkward. But yeah, you could see sort of their eyes go wide at all of the minis and map elements at his disposal.
Chris, you play D&D. How long have you been playing this?
Since I was 9 years old.
Oh yeah?
Is that right?
Yeah,
Single digit?
Since like 1981.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
First edition.
First edition. And I still play first edition. I play many editions.
You have a long-running game.
That's right.
Yeah, with the Murder Hobos.
Okay.
The Murder Hobos.
I love it.
How long has that one been going for?
Oh man, it depends. Like we have multiple groups. The first edition games, man, out in LA has probably been going like over 10 years.
Right.
I think, and the fifth edition game, which actually we started, not unlike you guys, started with Pathfinder, went to 5th edition, and recently switched to Zweihander. Which is a new rule set, which is pretty cool. I've been on that one for a little over 6 years. So
Holy moly.
Yeah, right.
So a casual D&D.
Yeah, casual. That's what we call it.
And we all know scheduling is the bane of any D&D game. How often do you guys get to play being
Man, I gotta say, I'm not the best at making it to every game. You know, it's like a rotating table, you know, where the Dungeon Master, it's like an every other Friday night, and I'd say I make it to about a third of them. I got a kid.
But you also told us, I don't know if this is for public consumption, but you told us that sometimes you guys do games where it's like 12 hours long and you drink so much that you pass out and then recover and wake up again and keep playing?
Yes, well, that hasn't happened to me specifically,
Okay.
but it has happened to members of our group. That's a game we play. The every other Friday night is played in a place called the Chamber of Despair, So the Chamber of Despair is a more regulated game.
Oh, okay.
The game where people get drunk and pass out is played at a location known as the War Shack. And the War Shack is definitely a more liberal environment, should I say.
Okay.
You should know that the chat is absolutely in love with your gravelly voice. And many people are referring to you as the wise old man that tells all of life's secrets.
Yeah, I got no secrets. I got them.
I like this guy. You're in. You're chat approved.
Do we have, Travis, are there any questions that have come in from the chat that we need to
Oh, certainly, chat. Feel free to voice or to put up any questions that you'd like these talented individuals.
They want Chris to be the Tavern keeper.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Screw the character build. Just Chris Prynoski in his hat.
It's getting lit. Look at that.
It's really happening. They're all saying that.
I'm a changeling.
That's a good impression.
anything that's come in so far?
No, they really wanted to be
No, but there's another doc where.
nothing yet. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so we also have this Cintiq. Should we show people things? I don't know. Is that a thing that we should do?
Let's draw some pictures.
Can we draw a picture or two? So something that was interesting to me about designing a character, for instance, is you don't just design the character, right? You guys are going to design it, and then you got to do turns. What are the
we have to do turns.
What is that? What is that? Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, because we're gonna be working with the full team of animators, you gotta know what's this character like from front, back, side. So it's like, I'm sure most people in chat know a character turnaround. So it's their standard stuff, but I think the challenge will be with the designs of the characters, and then sometimes along the way you're like, wow, this character does not turn. Sometimes it will just not turn because of some of the design choices that chat might have made. Hashtag changing tattoos and stuff. That will be hard to turn, but there's always a solution to it. Probably you always find answers.
These characters don't actually exist, so you got to draw them from every angle.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
and then different expressions too, right? You want to, you got to do an expression sheet just to show the animators.
Sheet, and I'm learning very well the different personalities that all these characters have for Vox Machina. So those expression sheets will reflect who they are. And first read, you're supposed to get Grog's the big muscly guy, but he has a sensitive side, and Pike's the hard ass, but she has commitments and stuff like that. So you want to get those from the character expressions.
Now the questions are pouring in. A general question I've been seeing is, how long have you been animating generally in your life?
And all of you guys can answer
please.
that.
Well, Chris?
Man, I've been doing it for a long time. I started on a show called Beavis and Butthead back in the 90s and worked at MTV. Daria was a director on that. And
oh, wow.
The Beavis and Butthead movie was the first thing they let me direct a sequence in where they trip on peyote. And
that was your first directing gig?
That was my first directing gig.
That's so great.
And then eventually made my way out here, kind of accidentally started Titmouse, worked at all the studios, ran into the likes of you guys in many of these places, including Titmouse, which Sam has directed many shows for Titmouse.
Yeah,
and and then eventually ended up here. So I don't know. How long is that? A long time. 25 years or something?
That's amazing. That's a long time.
We heard Sunjin's story, but is there anything to add to that?
Yeah, my origin story started off at Titmouse as an intern, and pretty much I have just been at Titmouse ever sinst then.
Well, you've worked on a couple of things. You worked on Tron.
Right,
You worked
but
on,
that was in tandem with Motor City.
Yeah. You worked on Gendy's Robot Show.
Bionic Titan.
Yeah.
Nico and the Sword of Light.
So a quick rundown is I was intern, then I started doing props and then doing backgrounds. Then I left for a little bit, did some boards for Gendy on his Symbiotic Titan show. And then Motor City was gearing up, which is Chris's show. And I'm pretty sure there's some fans still in the chat right now. And so I started storyboard on that. And from then, the storyboard career really took off, and they gave me opportunities to start directing things, and eventually led me to where we are now.
Amazing. And Arthur, how did you get your start in this crazy field? Have you always been drawn?
Yeah, pretty much. I've been doing backgrounds for 10 years now, 10 plus. Graduated 2008 and went on to work at Film Roman, and I think my first job at Titmouse was probably on Motor City with you guys.
Yeah.
Chris actually gave me my interview with Jen Ray.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How'd that interview go?
It went great because Antonio was out of town and I didn't clean up my test because I was working at a studio where we still had cleanup artists for backgrounds. They don't do that anymore. So I was just like, yeah, I'll just rough it in. And Chris was like, yeah, this looks pretty good. Like, I can tell you know how to like draw the forms. Like, you want to try it out? I was like, yeah, please, let me have it.
So the questions are pouring in now because our chat is amazing. They do have some questions around like how long things take to design or draw. So one, how long does it typically take to design a character from scratch to model ready? And then like how long does an episode of animation normally take?
Oh yeah. I mean, the answer can vary.
A very long time.
There you go. That is a very long time. There's obviously lots of steps involved and a lot of people involved. You know, it's not just from one artist. So I think that's where time comes in. You know, one artist will start the design, then it'll get passed along for the turns and cleanup. And
But like weeks, you think? Like
Oh, definitely weeks. And for the mains, maybe longer because you might not get it right the first time. You might have ideas, and even get it right is not maybe the right terminology because you want to always improve these characters and make them better. And you might learn something in boards, you might learn something else, and then you're like, you know what? Let's change this character before we get into animation. So it could take 2 weeks. It could take 2 months for a character.
And just because it's been so fascinating for me to go through this process with you guys, like everything has to be designed. So like Grog's axe has to be designed and turned around and stuff. And
there are multiple takes on that axe.
yeah, and down to like just every little detail. It has to be perfect.
If Grog vomits, you got to design the vomit.
Oh, that's
How
true.
chunky is it going to be?
What did he have that morning?
Maybe
Grog holds that shit down. Let's
since
go.
we have the Cintiq, should we design the kazoo right now? I'm just saying.
Zoom out?
I think we could. We could continue doing a little Q&A while there's some kazoo design.
All right. Here we go.
All your talents. Make us a kazoo.
Remember, it's a medieval kazoo.
Arcane.
Right, it should be on like a giant plaque, right?
It should be on
Because we're asking you to animate a fucking kazoo right now, this world dominating talent. Another question from, I'm just going to say the name, Lamacorn Misanthropy.
Sure.
Question, does this project differ from your usual animation projects? If so, in what ways?
Oh.
Well, there's one big way
And what is that, Chris?
that it wasn't pitched to a network. It was generated off a Kickstarter from our generous critters that I can't
Unity
believe.
driven.
Yeah,
That's right.
It's crazy, and it's so interesting to be in the driver's seat of something like that, where we are the masters of our own destiny. It's so not often the case. Actually, it's never the case.
Yeah, no, this is the first time, and
And I know that we hound you guys over every little detail from the characters to the locations and stuff like that. Is that common in animation to have people poring over every little detail and giving notes ad nauseum? Yeah,
Yes.
well, that's actually-
I gotta say, for this it's really it's so unusual to have something that's so incredibly well developed. Like you never get that. It's usually like, all right, we got 2 weeks to build our world, and then we're off to the races.
Yeah,
and this has like years and years and hundreds of hours of world building and character building. It's a unique and like kind of like. It's like the situation that you dream to have when starting it. It's like, it's not like who is this character? You know, it's you don't have that question.
Yeah.
They're so well established.
A question from Telkei, Telkei.
Sure.
Can we expect secrets in the animations? I'm assuming that means Easter eggs?
like Easter eggs
Yeah,
and-
like little things that only our audience will know. Maybe not
We've been
newcomers?
actually talking about that a little. Obviously, Travis, Liam, and I aren't drawing the show, but we're definitely.
You don't know.
Oh boy.
I can make a fucking dope kazoo.
We're definitely into like throwing in some little background details and stuff that that the fans will be able to pick up on if they if they shuttle through, frame by frame, that would be awesome. I know it's sort of a pain in the neck for you guys, but
Oh yeah, the words frame by frame gives me night terrors, but we'll do it.
That's incredible.
yeah,
for
we
you
got to
guys.
put something, some.
Kicked a few things like that back.
I think there's a lot of opportunity, especially like Chris saying, world building, and Arthur's been doing such a great job already processing and thinking about it. There could
Man,
be
wait
a
till you
lot
guys
of
see it.
Gonna be older than this kazoo, that's for sure.
How's the kazoo looking, by the way?
Based all your
Yeah, got
expectations.
two options. You got an A and a
this
B.
kazoo.
I'm an art director.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Okay.
It's a kazoo with it looks like you could do
Yeah,
multiple notes on it.
Yeah, this is
like
a
somewhere
fancy
between
kazoo.
a
Either one of those
recorder and a
winners.
kazoo.
I think Scanlan's taking a good look at it.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, one is made for like more fumbly finger placement, A, right? And B is more like an expert kazoo.
Yeah.
You got to really nail that shit.
You know what, Arthur? Can I give you a note? Can I give you a note?
Sure.
On the back end of one of the kazoos, can we get a little flourish, a little frill, a little
Arcade,
something,
a little something coming off of it.
Yeah.
Why not have the kazoo also change and morph with
Oh, sure.
Tavern
Let's just have
keeper?
everything change.
So your A and B will be the same kazoo. It just
In fact, the tavern is called Shifties.
Everything in the town.
chat's predominantly choosing B though. They're favoring B. I see a lot more B's in the chat.
Well, it does have the flourish now.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
For each of you, a question from It's Just Geo. What character are you most looking forward to animating in the Briarwood arc of Legend of Vox Machina?
Pretty good.
For me, it's got to be Percy. I mean, it's basically his arc. He's got a lot of cool lines in there. God, what was it? Like, your soul is forfeit? Yeah, that's
Comes
going
to
be.
mind.
Yeah, so I can't wait.
Silas. These
Yes.
pretzels are making me thirsty. Who could forget?
I guess for me, looking for a grog because,
I'll give you a $5 later. Appreciate that.
but it's like I don't think I ever dealt with such a like murderous warrior that will have such a drastically different personality depending on occasion. So that's gonna be fun to play with.
I think in Grog's retirement, he may audition for the Murder Hobos if that's okay.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
as like a temporary residency. Okay. Good choice. Good
Well,
choice.
It's not because Sam's sitting here, because I think, Scanlan, there is going to be like a lot of opportunities to design the effects that
sure.
burst forth
Oh,
from
sure.
Scanlan's
Nethers?
nethers.
Yeah. So how do you do that? Do you,
Effects animation, that's a whole nother part of it.
what is that? What do you do? Is it like After Effects? Do you draw like if
still gotta
say
draw.
hypothetically there's a lightning bolt coming out of somebody's dick? Do you draw the lightning bolt or do you get like
You gotta get the source, man. You gotta,
Not only do you gotta
Everything has a
do a
beginning and
design
an
for
end.
it before it even goes to an animator.
you got to
so
design
they know what
the lightning dick.
Yes.
the lightning, what the magic dick
we're gonna
lightning
have
looks
meetings
like.
about the lightning bolt.
Ooh, that's true. There will be
But, like,
lightning
if
Do you
meetings.
want to like see it finished and be like, man, I wish that magic dick lightning was cooler.
need a
You
whole
need to look at
page.
the design first, man.
We need a whole page of cube options.
But like, so is that an effect though, or is that hand drawn? Do you think?
Well, it's a combination of many things.
Okay.
Computers augment, all of our processes these days. It would start with a drawing and then, be animated to a certain degree with progressive frames. But then you bring it into the computer, you make it glow. You maybe make it have like
Pulse.
Pulse. Oh, could pulse. Could do both of those things.
Pulsating lightning dick.
A question from Trousers. What do you think will be the hardest character / monster to animate in the series or animal? SJ. Also, Sam, I like your nails.
Oh, thank you. My daughter painted my nails. You can't see it on this hand. They're just because it's just sparkly, but in the sunlight it changes colors and it becomes pink.
Oh, wow.
And this side is light green.
Shifties.
But when yeah, welcome to Shifties. And when you go in the sunlight, these turn into dark green. Ooh. So,
I'll speak to the most traditionally difficult, like animal creature to animate in just generally in animation.
is it a horse?
It's horses.
Talked about that Told you guys.
Because here's the thing. A dragon, it's like nobody really knows. You can make up what a dragon or like any kind of
Scales,
beast, right?
beards,
A
feathers.
human, you get a lot of practice animating humans. Horses, everybody knows what a horse moves like. But you don't get a lot of practice. You don't get a lot of opportunity. Horse anatomy is real specific.
So we've been
It's
talking
a
about
bitch.
this with Sunjin
Especially if
because
it's gotta turn around.
There's some scenes where we want our characters to be moving across the landscape, maybe
just
on
give
horseback.
everybody shifting armband tattoos. That's gonna be easier.
Well, but so like Sunjin brought this up, and he said like, can we do something other than horses? Like we make up an animal or something, and
Bipedal.
or we make up a two-legged creature.
He literally said, please make a large bipedal fantasy creature that's pulling shit, so it's not a fucking horse.
Not a horse.
So if you tune into the cartoon when it comes out and you see Vox Machina being pulled by some weird
Giant parrot.
creature, it's because of this guy.
I want to settle this once and for all. This is for the writer's room. It's not that I dislike drawing horses. I can draw a decent horse.
He's great at drawing.
It's just animating horses is a whole different scenario.
Can have a lot of horses standing around.
Yes. So a question from Always Rolling Twos, and I'm going to combine also Sec1E. Question, is it harder to animate with how much world building there is already established? And what are the sets environments you are most looking forward to designing or building?
Yeah, I am doing a deep dive on all that world building right now, and honestly, that's like one of the reasons I really wanted to be on this project. Like, Matt's brain is like an encyclopedia that he wrote himself. I mean, yeah, the world building's great. So
God bless you.
I'm picking and choosing. I mean, like, obviously we can't have everything in there, but I really want to make sure that we're taking what's there and being authentic to it, but then pushing it a little bit further, seeing if there's a little bit of extra world building we can throw on top. So yeah, I'm super excited to start being able to show you guys like what that looks like, because it's really fun on our end. We're basically in that visual development phase where that's all we're playing with.
Yeah, and earlier tonight, even without giving away anything, really, we were.
I'm gonna fucking draw a horse.
Okay, draw a horse.
Yeah.
Draw a horse.
He just wants to show off.
Will it have 4 legs
showing off.
or 2?
You could draw a horse,
Damn,
or you
chicken
could
have
draw a new bipedal creature.
I need to get the horse out first. I need to get rid of this horse first.
But earlier tonight, we were talking with Arthur and Sunjin. We were reviewing some designs, some early visual development designs for the city of Whitestone. And holy shit! I mean, it's not just beautiful and gorgeous and epic, but like Arthur, you took themes and the sun tree and the history of the place and how Whitestone was created and sort of baked it all into the design of the city and where it sits geologically. It's amazing. Obviously, we can't wait for you guys to see it, but like, just know that this gentleman is taking great pains and great care in like making this not just beautiful and awesome, but also like authentic and work with the world and the mythology, and it's so good.
There's always the fear that it'll either be misinterpreted or it'll be something entirely different and you won't know how you feel about it. And then there are those bullseye moments where it just hits it. It hits the nerve, and all of us are sort of taken aback. We it takes our breath away. I think there were even some man tears.
I was going to say, I saw one image last week and teared up in under 3 seconds. Because it was just like seeing what was in my head. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, and that's saying something, because our fan artist community is so big and so talented. I mean, it's raised the bar in ways we couldn't even imagine, but your take on it is going to make a lot of people really, really happy.
That was one of the intimidating things about it. Like, I think you were saying there was like thousands of pieces of fan art coming in every single week. I mean, the fan art community is gigantic, and there's some really talented professional people in there too. I mean, I know working animators who draw fan art for this show just in their spare time because the story's fucking good.
Yeah, that's right.
I probably collect about 200 images a week right now, and I have about 40 gigs of art from this community from the beginning of the show. It's a lot. It's a lot.
40 gigs.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
How's that horse coming, SJ?
I think it's coming around.
That's good. Well, keep going. We got a question from.
wow. What a beautiful horse.
That's like the Denver airport. Holy shit. A question from Red Wolf Rod. A question, how are you getting to know Campaign 1? Are you watching it in full? Are you reading about it, listening to the podcasts? How are you getting in touch with the source material?
Ooh.
Is that for me? Because I watched the whole damn thing. I mean, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
SJ's concentrating on it.
I
don't think he heard. For Chris and for me and Travis also,
Same.
and guiding the writers, we've had to reacquaint ourselves with the Briarwood art and stuff too. So I've been re-listening to I listened to it. I've been listening to the podcast version of that arc specifically a couple times now, just to remember key lines and key moments that we need to hit. But Chris, you were going to say?
Travis actually put together an incredible document at the beginning of this thing that was like a kind of like, I don't want to quite call it a Cliff's Notes because it was
Dummy's Guide
much
to
bigger than a Cliff's
the
Notes.
Briarwood art?
It was 50,
and
52
then it's
pages
been
long.
continuously refined and refined and refined by other people. You know, our writer's assistant was also a critter who worked at Titmouse previously, and I got to say, years and years ago when we first had a meeting about this, she was very enthused that you guys came in
We should
to the studio.
We should give her a shout out.
Yeah.
Meredith Keskametti,
That's right.
our writer's
Pronounced
assistant.
her name correctly.
And she's a huge critter, and she's in every writing meeting. And she, if we have a question like, oh, what was that place called again? She's like, it was Vasselheim.
Yeah, she drops it in on the slide. She's quick. A question from Goblin Bucket. Will the designs in the trailer be final, or will there be tweaks?
Definitely going to be tweaks.
There are tweaks.
Yeah. I would say the stuff from the trailer is sort of a first pass. We were sort of still finding it, and now that we've been given all this awesome money from the Kickstarter donators, now we can go back and really figure out something that's going to work well for the full 10 episodes.
Yeah.
And we're pushing it as far as we can. I mean, yeah, that trailer was great, but
we're saying, the designs always evolve. Like even if you look at the early episodes of any show, like The Simpsons or something, based on where they were in the third or fourth season, it always changes. So expect for it to always change.
Always get
Everyone's a changeling. But also something that's been fascinating to me about the design process, like not only do you have to make the character look like they're supposed to look and be able to emote and move and stuff, but also it's about reducing the amount of lines, right? Like you want to draw as few lines as possible just to make it easier on the animators. Is that right?
Yeah. In a way, the less we have to draw, the better we can make the drawings that we do good. So we can really make sure that we're using that money to tell the story that we want to tell as effectively as possible. Because if you're just throwing every line in there and saying every detail's good, why not? It'll start to break the whole show in half.
Yeah, so for instance, Scanlan, my character Scanlan, hi. Technically he had a whip, and he had a sword, and he had a flute, and he had a shawm, and he had a lute. I don't know where he kept all that shit. But on the show, he's going to have one thing. That's it. And that's going to be, for a lot of the characters, I think they're going to just have the one item. And
there's an economy that happens. It doesn't hurt to have a bag of holding and things like that where things can be stowed away. But yes, there is an economy that definitely happens. An animation question. Obviously, you have a ton of great experienced voice actors. Oh, thank you so much. Dane T is who's asking the question. Who will be wonderful to work with. We hear from them often what the skill of matching lip flap is like. How hard is it from the other side of the fence to match animation to recorded VO? What is the process like?
Like the lip sync of it all?
That got sorted out about 75 years ago.
Oh.
We still use the same techniques that they used way back when. Where it's basically there's once the audio track has been edited and locked, it gets read, which is basically each phenome. Now computers help with this. It used to be someone would listen to it with headphones and write down each syllable, basically. Now computers help with that a little bit, and then there's generally someone. It would be either someone who's called a sheet timer, who goes with the exposure sheets, which is a system they use to plan out every single frame, what happens on every single frame of.
Wow.
It used to be film, but it's frame of the timeline.
How many frames a second?
Well, we still go with 24. 24 has a classic look.
Yeah.
But and then after that's recorded,
This show's going to be 25.
yeah,
It's one more. You guys deserve it.
and then there's someone who is if it's not your sheet timer, often there's a lip assignment or a lip director who will actually plan out which mouth shape will go with each syllable. And there's generally a mouth chart for each character, which these guys will work on, that has the main syllables, like kind of classic for TV is like 8 mouth positions, maybe you'll do 10, and then you'll do a bunch of expressions and stuff, but it's basically a guide. So
Sam's
the
mouth is pretty big. Will his be 3 times longer than
We're
the
gonna
rest
need
of ours?
17 mouths.
48 frames a second. The chat is blown away by all this. I can tell we've hit him. I want to check in on our Denver Airport Stallion to
How
see.
are the Broncos looking?
Yeah.
I gave up on the back legs.
You did. Holy shit! I made it! I made it!
Now a horse, unicorn, serpentine like
Oh my god!
You can't draw a horse.
Oh
I
shit!
just refuse. I refuse.
It's a Yanti unicorn steed for grog.
Oh, I want to see that on the show.
I mean, I'm not mad at it.
possible.
Yeah, I feel like we need. Does the unicorn Yanti serpent have a name?
Oh, wow.
That's a tavern keeper now.
Well, Aquaman, I see we meet again.
Oh, damn! They're crushing it. Okay.
We can let the chat decide the name later. They could.
I know we're getting sort of near the end of this, so I want to combine a couple questions here, just because they're great for the artists in the community. Aiden Lee 4000 and Vailari asked, art-wise, are there any tips for a fellow artistic critter or for a new intern working at a design production company? And what is your favorite part of the animating process?
Chris, you want to take it away?
That question is definitely for Liam.
There's a lot of parts to that question. Favorite part? You know, this. I'm gonna go with favorite part first because that's the last thing that you said, and I remember it the best. Which is, I think this stage when it could be anything, and you're really trying to figure out, how the world is going to look, how are the characters going to look when we're writing the scripts. And even though a large part of this is an adaptation, there's a lot of creativity that goes into that, and editing and figuring out like how this works in this medium. What was the first part of that question?
It was advice to young animators that are interns or starting out at production companies.
That's the one that you really want answered, right? So internships are great. I did internships. I think if you can, it's good to intern at a big studio and a small studio because you learn a lot in each way. Big studios, generally, there are rules and you can't actually participate in a project.
Are you a big studio or a small
Man,
studio?
I don't know. We're somewhere in the middle.
Getting bigger every day.
Yeah. But a small studio, often you can get your hands dirty and learn. It's good to see how many things work. Going to an art school is a good way. It's not necessary. You don't need a degree to get work in animation. You guys, you went to Art Center, right?
No, I went to USC.
You went to USC.
Yeah.
I thought you went to Art Center.
Yeah, I don't
He
even.
went to USC.
Yeah.
Did you go to?
I went to Art Center.
You
yeah.
went to Art Center.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I went to the School of Visual Arts of New York. So it's a good way. I think school is good for meeting people. I think a good one of the best pieces of advice I can give you to get into the animation world is don't be an asshole because it's very small and
That's good general advice.
it's a good advice for the world. But there's really this community is very small and. If referrals are a huge way, if you're liked and talented by, liked by people and you're talented, your name will get around. I don't know. What do you guys have to add?
Yeah, I mean that's really good. Don't be an asshole is probably the biggest piece of advice. And word gets around in both ways.
I think in tandem to that, especially for interns, is you want to find the right balance of you're there, you're an intern, so take advantage of your environment. You have all these professionals.
Oh, yeah.
You want to be respectful, but also that's the whole bank of wisdom, knowledge, and experience just sitting right in front of you. So don't be too shy.
Don't be shy as an intern. That's a really good advice. The interns who are proactive and want to learn and come and they're sitting around and they're like, hey, what can I do? Is there anything I could be doing? They're the ones that it's like, oh, you don't have anything to do? let's think of something cool for you to do. And then they're the ones
we
that
won't know
get to do the cool stuff.
So bring an air horn to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. By the
Wait
way,
a second.
I've been seeing.
That breaks the don't be an asshole.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's right. It's right in the line. I've been seeing in chat, by the way, that your unicorn horse
Has been
Equatoa?
named.
has been named Equitoa, which you might not get. Well, Arthur might get it.
I also saw Equiboa.
Pretty good.
I saw a couple times a question, are we taking care of ourselves? Are we staying hydrated, sleeping, resting? Because we all are very busy
Do we
people.
look like shit? Is
I
that
don't
what's
know.
going on?
I guess that's the question. Do we have dark circles under our eyes? Are we okay? I would say yes.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun making this series so far. We've been having writing meetings and design meetings and interviewing new members of the team, and it's a lot of work. But it's so invigorating. I don't know about you,
Absolutely.
but
I mean,
it's every time
We've said it
work
a
on
million times. Like this is the dream, right? Like so many of us have wanted to be a part of animation when we were younger, just because we loved cartoons or animation when we were growing up. To be able to voice act them is one thing, but to have characters that are ours actually come to life, be a part of the creative process, have our fingers in all of the dough as it's being baked. It's nothing short of an absolute dream. So
It's the most satisfying thing I've ever encountered in my life career. It's amazing.
Yeah, and to answer a question that I saw fly by in chat too, because we didn't really answer this at the top, the cast is definitely involved in the production of this thing. We're intimately involved with the writing process, with breaking the stories. We review all the designs. We're there for everything, and so when you see the show, it's going to be made by these guys, obviously, but it's going to have the cast stamp all over it. And Matt Mercer is weighing in on all the lore, all the history, all the good stuff.
100%. Jeffrey Lindsay pointed out, fingers in the dough as it's being baked will burn your fingers. Well, shit. Fuck my metaphor. Okay. They asked, do you guys have any rituals as animators for when the first episode of a new show comes out that you like to do? Group watchings, bars, anything like that?
Hit up our local tavern, I guess.
Meet the tavern keeper.
Yeah. No, when you're there's generally a premiere party or
Oh, shit. Do we have to do
something
one of
like
those?
that.
Okay.
We'll be
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
But you don't have. We can do it right here. And really, the only requirement for animators is generally booze.
I did see another question that said, will you be able to draw Vax edgy enough?
Gee.
It's a high bar.
I mean,
We're
know.
gonna do our best.
can
You got to
anyone
explore
do
that
that?
cave carefully.
Have faith.
Wow. Okay. Question: where's Grog's beard? Well, I don't know. I guess you just kind of have to watch to find out. I
Oh
mean,
yeah. Oh boy.
I don't want to give away anything, right? We're gonna
No.
just leave to the imagination,
Yeah.
where the beer will be.
tweaks all along the way, right?
Yeah, I guess the designs aren't final, so we'll see what happens.
But Equiboa is definitely gonna
Yeah,
make a showcase.
That's the
right?
big bad of the season right there.
Holy shit.
There's some. I saw a bunch of spell questions. Like, I guess that goes to the Dick Lightning that we talked about before. But we do have a lot of spells that we're going to be animating this season.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite spells, or any spells that you are excited to see animated, or do you have any spells that you use in your games, Chris, that you like?
Man, I gotta say, the guy, when you were talking before about the guy who got drunk, passed out, woke up and started playing again,
Yeah.
he plays a magic user that he basically plays like a fighter. He just uses magic missile and fireball for everything. He basically doesn't do
Just sits
anything.
back.
Yeah. Magic missile. He has those special magic missile dice where you don't have to add the one. They just go from 2 to 5. So he just has those that he rolls because that's all he uses them for.
I didn't even know those existed.
Yeah, you get all kinds of dice.
Would Magic Missile be an easy spell to animate, or no? Because there's like three missiles that shoot
Depends
out.
on what level you are.
Okay. Oh, that's true. Yeah, you can cast it at a higher level. Wow.
And I guess this is a good question for all of us, so we can start to wrap up on it. Is there any part of the Briarwood arc that we are, in particular, looking forward to being animated?
Wow.
I mean, there's a lot to choose from, but I think we can probably knock out all the good moments.
I'm particularly interested in seeing a young gnome, an old gnome, on the roof of a building, confronting a particular Goliath person, or maybe just before that, in the form of a Triceratops. I want to see. I don't know if we get it in the season. I hope we do.
Triceratops have 4 legs.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Not anymore.
What if it was like a pugilist Triceratops?
Maybe.
I think for me, seeing Percy go full smoke monster in his fits of rage, and just seeing that actually moving as Orthax does his thing, that's going to be awesome for me.
Liam, you got
I
a
want to
favorite?
see actual Orthax, and I really want to see half elf out a window, and then the first showdown with the Briarwoods out on the cobblestones.
That's right. Yes, you sneaky bastard.
Ooh boy.
Can I rewind and discuss my most?
Well, what are you drawing right now?
Magic
What do we got
spell?
going?
I'm
over
mostly looking forward to running horses.
there? You know that horse race sequence. Yeah. That famous horse race sequence.
It's just the cavalry. Like, unleash the Whitestone cavalry.
There's hundreds of them, sir. No, thousands.
Question: How will the
heart attack on
how will the battle? How will the battle with the door be animated?
Oh boy,
We'll see.
it's gonna be epic. What you got going over there, SJ?
This
Anything
is
we need to check in
this
on?
is the epic spell I love.
Oh,
Looking forward to it.
Oh my god!
oh wow.
Holy crap!
This was interesting for me because working with you guys on the Kickstarter trailer, I was obviously learning a lot about the characters and the story and the lore, and then in one meeting, Sam was just like, crotch blast, like I was like, it took me a couple of minutes to really process it, but and it made it into the trailer.
It did. It did.
I just could not ever let it go after that.
Cock
Yep.
lightning. Yeah.
Crotch lightning.
Iconic.
We'll try to push it as big and as crotchy as we can.
As crotchy as we can. That's gonna be the Yelp review of our series.
Yeah. No,
Super crotchy.
They review animated series on Yelp now.
Sure. Yeah. What do you think, Travis? Have we
I mean, yeah.
have we done the thing?
I think we've done it. I think
Liam,
we've
do you have
done it.
anything that we need to talk about before we wrap this thing up?
You want to shift into something else?
Oh boy, it's all shifties here. I guess we'll just wrap up. Chris, do you have something?
Nope.
I guess we'll wrap up. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
This has been amazing.
Absolutely.
Thank you all so much for voting. For this Tavern Keeper. I forget exactly what we landed on for a lot of these things, but we'll have to go back and review the footage. But thank you for helping us build the Tavern Keeper. Thank you for voting and your enthusiasm. Thank you for all of the Kickstarter backers who supported us financially and spiritually, and even for those who didn't. You can still support us by watching the Ding Dang Show when it comes out. Much appreciated to our friends at Titmouse.
Yeah, sincerely, I do want to thank all the Kickstarter backers because it really is a dream come true to make like a fantasy RPG show with a bunch of animation pals. It's great. This is amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Thanks to you guys.
And we promise this is just the first of these sort of looks into the production process, the additional people that are going to be coming from Titmouse to make this whole thing happen. Everything from writers to background artists to storyboard artists, storyboard supervisors, music. I mean, these are all elements of the show that we're going to get to shine a light on and let you guys in on the process as much as we can. So it's just the first of many, and I'll echo what Sam said. Thank you to you guys for coming all the way out to answer some questions and draw.
It's been a great time.
Good boa.
Equable. No horses.
All right, everybody. I guess that's the show. Stay turned.
We'll see where the Tavern Keeper ends up. Have a wonderful night.
Thanks, everybody. Bye. Bye.